Hello, viewers and lovers of Epsilon TV and Sahrah. Welcome to episode 6 of Sahrah. The rebranded Sahrah is what we are bringing to you. And Merry Christmas and a forthcoming Happy New Year to all of our viewers and lovers. Thank you for being us throughout the year. It has been a splendid 1 year for Epsilon TV. We have brought in shows like Monorama, we've brought in shows like Obinibesh and Ridongo, and now Sahrah is in its 6th episode. I hope you're loving the show, and so am I, being loving with you. Today, I am your host, Ketan Sheikh. The show is also my concept. The show is directed by Farah Naz, our very good friend who have had 2 successful shows with Epsilon TV. And it is produced by Aymaan Media, and it's sponsored by our good friend Goldfinch Business Solutions LLC FZ. So, Christmas, yeah, Merry Christmas, ahoy, ahoy. It's a wonderful festivity that we have through Christmas, and in Christmas, what we celebrate is togetherness. So, our show or our episode today is all about festivity in the bridal togetherness. And what we are going to start the show or the episode with is how do we celebrate our bridal in the festive seasons of Christmas? Why not? Why not? There is a saying in Bangla that Jaha Bahanno Tahai Poshutti. What if I translate it? It says whatever is 52 is also 65. Mathematically, I don't have a clue what it means, but what it actually implies is that if you can fit in things within 52, then you can fit in things with 65. And I'm not talking about ages here. I'm talking about metaphorically that if there is a festive season going on, if there's lots of fun going on, just punch in your own celebration. And if you were born and brought up in the warmer side of the world, like India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and other warmer sites such as Southern Hemisphere, South America, maybe Australia, or in the tropics, in the Far East, the sides near but which are warmer during Christmas time, they put a lot of their weddings during the Christmas season to add in to the festivity and fun. And why not? Christmas is a theme. Christmas is a theme of red roses, white candles, Santa, festivity, food, fun, togetherness, wine, delicacies, cheese, pies, and why not add a wedding celebration to make it even more special? I've got a couple of friends who actually got married. Their wedding was on 25th December. So every Christmas, they celebrate their anniversary. At the same time, the whole family gets together for Christmas. That's a wonderful way of bringing the family together for their anniversary. And they can remember the date. There's no risk of forgetting the marriage anniversary for the man. And, this is how we will start the episode today. We will talk about festivity, we'll talk about togetherness, we'll talk about embracing cultures, embracing celebrations of others with our own celebration of wedding, anniversaries, and other festivities. So, without further ado, let me give you a very warm Merry Christmas. And let's get started with how does bridal decor happen during the season of Christmas? And what's so special about bridal decor during Christmas? So before we move any forward, let's have a look at what we have prepared for you. It's a Christmas wedding decor, and you will see the specialities in the Christmas wedding decor. You will find lots of similarities. Now, talking about the warmer side of the world, yes, people do wear fancy gowns, or people can wear sort of the summery dresses and celebrate Christmas in Australia and celebrate a wedding in Thailand, which is slightly warmer now. Lanzarote in Spain, wonderful island wedding, Caribbeans, Bermuda, Bahamas, beautiful wedding venues. And Christmas time wedding is even better because everybody has a break and everybody wants to get together. But talking about the West and the Northern Hemisphere, like places like London, New York, Paris, most of Eastern Europe, the North, US, other places. Weddings also go on during Christmas season, very much go on, because that has another decor style, that has the snowy feel of it, that has the whites into it, that has the shivering cold, but at the same time, the warmth of cognac and wines, that has the bubbly or the champagnes popping and people are drinking and at the same time feeling warm instead of very, very chilly weather of, let's say, Washington, D.C., or think Canada, for instance, Quebec or Montreal or Toronto. It's snowing, outside it's full of ice, but people are celebrating wedding because they love the snowy wedding. Who doesn't want a snowy wedding? It's a special day. It's a celebration. You can make the big snowman. You can decorate the snowman in Christmas style, or even you can decorate the snowman in the groom's attire. And that sort of gives you that kind of thematic vibe of we're celebrating Christmas together with our wedding. So let's have a look at what we have prepared for you, a Christmas wedding photo slide with a little bit of narrative of how a Christmas wedding would actually look like. So, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the Christmas wedding show.
This Christmas lunch is very, very famous, where Mr. and Mrs. are sitting in the traditional Christmas chairs. And that takes us to a table decor of red roses, wine glasses, and red hankies with luxury cutlery. And the decoratives continue. And it also continues with the floral decor. Evening sessions are also designed white and brown rather than focusing on red. This could be ideal for anniversaries celebrated on Christmas. Scented candles are very, very integral part of creating ambience in the Christmas and festive weddings. And these are the guests' table decor. As you can see, the colors continue with whites and reds, and Christmas trees with huge amounts of lighting. The lightings are also integral part of a snowy field hall decor. And that can also feel part of a vintage style table decor with red candles, white candles, and red roses. There is the red carpet. Who doesn't want to walk on this? It's not an award ceremony, but it's a reward for love and affection in life. And there you go. Have some sweet tooth with a lovely snowy Christmas cake on your Christmas Day wedding.
The sweet tooth of white, snowy, frozen cakes. But this is the time of festivity. And in time of festivity, we actually blend cultures. Cakes come from the West. But then with the cake, what we have, the pies usually come from Eastern Europe. And with that, we have a little bit of sweet and sour chicken that comes from China, the Far East. And with that, we can have a turkey, which comes from Britain. And then we can have sausages, which come from Western Europe. Yes, what we're talking about is celebration in a festivity, be it a wedding or an anniversary or just a celebration itself. It's all about togetherness. And decor and art is actually about togetherness. People who love decor and art love to be together. And on this note, what I'm going to bring on in this show right now is someone whom I know is an enthusiast of art and decor, and she has had the experience of witnessing and getting very much involved in a multicultural bridal decor, a multicultural wedding very, very recently. Yes, she did not do it during Christmas, but she did it during summer. But it is a multicultural wedding that she attended, and she was totally involved in it. Not only that, this person also has raised children abroad, and children are nearing their wedding ages. So she might be thinking that although I am from the Eastern Asian culture, my children are more Western culture, and they might choose to have a wedding which is very much a Western culture wedding, which means she's looking forward to hosting a multicultural wedding. So she has had an experience. She's looking forward to hosting a multicultural wedding. Let's bring her on in this in the studio today. Ladies and gentlemen, our lovely viewers, please welcome Naima Parvin. Hello.
Hello,
Merry
good
Christmas.
evening. Merry Christmas, all the viewers, lovely viewers of Epsilon TV. Um, Merry Christmas, and I'm sure that you are having a lovely festive season.
Thank you so much for joining us in such short notice. And we noticed that you're all decorated. Just behind you, there's a Christmas tree, and you're all
Yeah.
decorated in blue, and it looks a very, very cold Christmas up there in London.
Um, it is. Last week, until last week, it was snowing, but uh, from today, it is a little bit mild. Yeah.
Mhm. So, as you know, Sahrah is a bridal decor show, and we actually want to present people's experience with decor, their insight into decor, their imagination into decor. We are both economists. We know each other very well. That if imagination had a market, it would never have an equilibrium because supply would never meet demand. So there is abundant supply of imagination, but there is also abundant demand for imagination. And in some form of transitory equilibrium that we see is during a wedding when the bride and groom's imagination somehow meet up. And that's how a wedding actually takes place. But the bride and groom has a lot of input in it. So, my first question to you, tell us about your most recent multicultural wedding experience in Atlanta, Georgia. I know a little bit of background of it. So, Atlanta, Georgia, summer 2022. What was your three things that you noticed in the multicultural wedding that you will remember forever? The three really, really multicultural blendy things.
Most importantly, in the multicultural wedding, what I have got the idea is the emotions of the both of the sides, bride and grooms, matching those emotions.
Mhm.
This is very important, and I think as well, because this is the first time very closely I attended this wedding, so
Mhm.
I got the idea that matching both sides emotions are really not just create it's create the magic actually.
Oh, yeah.
You feel really good about
Yeah.
it, and of course it is the give and take between the both parties, a cultural exchange, some
Mhm.
sort of cultural exchange. Everybody involving in this whole idea, they are trying to give involve in it. This is really nice. And
Yeah.
of course the decor, as it is the decor show, the idea is you have to take both from the both culture.
Yeah.
And today's world, I don't know, what I think that not only just multicultural wedding, any wedding now, uh, I have seen that people give importance the opinion of the bride and groom rather
Ah,
than their
yeah.
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is really good. That is new to
Yeah,
me because during our wedding,
yeah,
uh, I don't know anybody ever asked me whether I want what type of food to be served in the
yeah,
mehendi, what type of food to be served in the halud,
yeah,
haldi, what type of food to be served in the wedding, or even very small things like
yeah,
whether I want
yeah,
a Rajinigandha or Golap
yeah.
roses. Nobody
Yeah,
asked me.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I
Mm,
think it actually stems from the idea that I'm going to go back to your first point. You said the matching of the emotions of both sides, and the
mm,
emotions create the magic when they're blended. And
yeah,
actually, the both the emotions are flowing in the same spirit, and that's
yeah,
actually comes from the bride and groom's love for each other.
yeah,
As we know that cross-cultural or multicultural weddings happen because boy and girl falls in love irrespective of their origin or ethnicity or language or culture. They fall in love for being human. And
yeah,
that creates that magical spark between the two. And coming back to your second point, that their opinions are very, very important. They're taken into consideration. That's because they've actually chosen the togetherness themselves. Nobody told them to go cross
yeah.
culture, but they've actually chosen it. And your final regret that nobody asks you in your wedding about what you exactly want, don't worry. There is always a second chance. I mean, you can always, in your maybe
No,
in your second marriage or maybe in your
there is a
anniversary.
proverb in Bangla that
Yeah.
Nara bil tole ekbari
Ah,
jai.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah,
been
yeah.
there, so
So
I
yeah,
don't want
yeah.
anymore.
Let me translate it for our viewers that whoever is bald wouldn't go under a coconut tree second time because they're scared of coconut falling on their bald head. But
Yeah.
you can wear a helmet. Anyway, going back to your frustration about nobody asked you back then.
It's not a
Um,
frustration. I'm just saying that that is the things which is improved, which
Improve.
has changed.
Yeah, yeah,
Positive changes happen, and
yeah.
that
So
is really
we
good.
have done something
I'm
good to the
happy
world.
about it.
Yeah, exactly. We have
Yeah.
done something good to the world, at least something good to the world,
Hmm.
actually. So, okay, going back to the Atlanta wedding. So, you went there, and of course, it was your relative's wedding, and I understand that it was a multicultural wedding. Can we talk about the two cultures, actually? So, the groom's culture and the bride's culture, very broadly defined. How would you define the groom's culture and the bride's culture? And I'm not talking about the ethnicity or the country origin, I'm talking about the culture in general, because there are certain ethnic origins which are very open minded, whereas some of them are not. There are other ethnic origins which are very conservative, but some of them are not. So, how would you define the two families coming in for the bridal show, and how were their actual culture towards openness, uh, invitation of and acceptance of ideas, and conservativeness, all three?
Um, Actually, obviously, the wedding I attended in the U.S., Atlanta, Georgia. So the bride side is more Eastern, South Asian culture,
Mhm,
and the groom side is very Western
mhm,
culture, dominating Western culture. So obviously, the initial phase, the planning phase of the whole wedding, it was a lengthy process.
mhm.
So far, I know it was a very lengthy process, and every bits of it was exchanged, and especially bride and groom, they decide that
They
every
decided.
bit which part will be
Yeah,
like Eastern, South Asian style, which part will be Western style.
yeah,
um,
yeah,
uh,
yeah. Of course, of course,
yeah,
of course.
so and then it was their ideas goes to their parents, and
Yeah,
they decide
yeah,
that which should and the way
What
they
kind of
want to
decor? Yeah,
do,
exactly.
yeah,
What kind of
the
decor? Yeah,
whole things.
yeah,
So it is a wholesome process
yeah,
actually.
yeah.
For us, those who are the guest, is just 7 days full of fun
Fun,
and
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
enjoyment. But for them, it
yeah,
is a long process to go
yeah,
through this whole,
yeah,
every bit of it.
yeah.
It was really,
Yeah.
really amazing.
Great, great. As we all know, that art is not science, but then science is also not art. So, art is one way where you can mix decors. So you can actually bring in two arts, create fusion decors and everything. So I'm going to start with the first, not the wedding, but the other celebrations, such as the celebrations prior to the wedding and
Mm-hmm.
festivities prior to the wedding. I think because you said the bride side was the Eastern Asian side and the groom side was the Western
South Asian
US,
side, bright
yeah,
side, yeah.
and groom side was the Western side. So I'm assuming there were haldi and sangeet and mehndi and all of
Mehendi, yeah.
the prelude to a grand wedding, and then
Mhm.
that this grand wedding prelude had a lot of activities, a lot of decor and everything. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna watch short video of
Okay.
what we have combined from your content. So you have given us some content to combine a short
Mhm.
video of the Haldi Sangeet and the prelude of this grand wedding that you attended, the multicultural wedding that you attended. So we're going to watch that and then we will talk about that. We'll hear from you what was your experience about it and
Yeah,
etc. Yeah.
sure.
So we will watch that one and then we will come back to the studio again. Hello and welcome back to Sarah episode 6. We are with Naima Parvin talking about multicultural wedding and from her most recent experience from attending a multicultural wedding at Atlanta, Georgia this summer. We welcome back Naima Parvin. Hello, welcome back. How was the slideshow? Did it reminiscent of your memories? Did it bring back a lot of
Yeah, I enjoyed it thoroughly, so I remember it.
Okay, okay. Now we're gonna hear from you. Talk us through these different days of celebration. Just briefly talk us through the different days of celebration coming up, building up to the wedding. Of course, we saw something called a haldi, and then probably from mehendi and
Mandy.
some dancing and going on everything.
Yeah.
So let us hear from you.
In South Asian culture, Mendi and Haldi, both of the functions for wedding, pre-wedding,
Mhm.
is so colorful, so vibrant, and that was actually both of the family agreed that they want to do this colorful
Yeah,
festivity, particularly
yeah,
bride
yeah,
and grooms.
yeah,
Again, I'm saying
yeah,
their opinion and their choice, what they want to do, that was the main thing
yeah.
about the whole arrangement. That
Hmm.
that really felt me better. That
Yeah.
yes,
So
whatever happening,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
they are there with it.
yeah. So where color and decor came in,
Mm.
the cultures embraced each other. So
Yeah.
they liked the color and the decor, the music and the festivity.
Mhm.
They embraced each other, which is a great thing. Yeah, carry on,
Yeah.
please.
Like in the those are the kids who are growing up in Western culture.
Hmm.
They have a lot of friends. Those are from different countries, from a
Absolutely,
different
absolutely.
background,
Yeah,
and they are attending their wedding,
yeah,
these haldi and mehendi, and they
yeah,
are enjoying it with the family people, particularly from the bride side,
yeah,
because bride side mainly arrange this
yeah.
mehendi and haldi. And the program schedule started with the mehendi function,
Hmm.
where this mehendi function arranged by the bride's moms, all the friends in
Ah, right. Okay.
Atlanta.
You mean the henna design and everything
Yeah,
came
yeah,
from?
everything, every food and everything
Hmm.
arranged by them, and the venue and what would be the decor and everything, really nice of them. So and that day, mainly the music are actually the
The South
South
Asian music.
Asian numbers,
South Asian music. Yeah, yeah,
Bangla,
yeah. And
and
Hindi
Hindi
and
songs
Urdu and
are
all this.
mainly
Yeah, yeah,
a part of it.
yeah.
After the Mendi, everybody was dancing. After the dinner, everybody was dancing
I'm
with.
going to pause you here because I've got a very interesting question about it. This that from the groom side, you obviously met the groom side and you met the other culture during the wedding. You probably talked to them, you had conversations
Mm.
with them, and you've seen them. Did you see that they were completely unaware of the Eastern culture in terms of decor and design and music, or they had some awareness because earlier any one of them got into this some sort of multicultural relationship and they got to learn about India and South Asia, or they were completely unaware, it was all new to them?
Obviously, for some of the culture, some of the things are some of the details.
Yeah,
Maybe they are
yeah,
unaware,
yeah.
but they know that, particularly why. Like in the healthy function, um, bride's cousin introduced the function to the whole
Yeah.
audience, because as I said, although they're South Asian, the bride side, but many people, has a lot of friends, a lot of families over there, who attended the healthy function. They
Mhm.
don't know what actually why we use the turmeric.
Oh, right. Okay, okay, I get it. Yeah, yeah, the turmeric
Yeah.
thing. Okay,
So
yeah.
what happened is that when the haldi started, the bride's cousin who hosted the function, and he described what is the meaning of the this haldi
Hmm.
function, why it is significant in our culture. And
Hmm.
then the haldi happened, and then the dance and everything's happened.
Okay,
uh,
okay,
it's
okay.
like that. I particularly like the haldi's decor.
Yeah.
If you see the slide, you can in the decoration of the main part where the haldi happened, it seems like that rooftop of any South Asian
Yeah,
household.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
yeah.
That actually
It's
brings
so
back our
homely.
memories. Yep,
Yeah,
exactly. Our memories of attending
it
Haldi
is
function.
so homely. It is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah,
unique.
absolutely. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
arranged by a very famous event management
Right,
company,
right.
but
Yeah, yeah.
they
But the
really,
idea must have come from the bride's mom
yeah,
or bride's
yeah.
side. The idea,
The
exactly.
idea is
Yeah.
it seems
So the
that it
imagination,
is
they must have
actually,
put the requirements that this is what we
yeah,
want,
hmm,
and
yeah.
this is where it should come. We probably okay.
Some questions.
Yep. No. We don't have any comments that we want to evaluate. But thank you for the comments. Let them keep them flowing. That's great. We are getting comments from our lovely viewers. I'm going to go to the indulgence, which means food, mouth-watering food of the uh, build up to the wedding. It's often said that the wedding usually has the most bland food, whereas the actual tangy and ticky food are coming before the wedding to keep the
Yeah,
party going on.
particularly in the Mehndi and Haldi.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So in the slideshow, I've seen some sort of I think pitas, the local pitas and other things.
Mhm.
So these were part from the one culture.
Yeah.
What kind of food came from the other culture? The US, the US culture.
Like some canopies was
Mm-hmm.
there,
Mm-hmm.
and there was some chart.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, some English style
English
canopies
knuckles.
was
Yeah,
there,
exactly. Yeah, yeah,
and it like those are the starters.
yeah.
In the main food, there are some naans and other
So that's the
vegetarian
eastern one. But
things,
what came from the west? What did come from the west?
pasta,
Right.
and some salami type of things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are were there.
Okay.
So
Oh, yeah. Sounds
both type
wonderful.
of
Yeah.
foods are there.
Great, great. Sounds wonderful. We're gonna move to the bridal decor now, which is the wedding.
Yeah. One
And
interesting thing I want to
yeah,
include
sure.
here, in the haldi function, because it was in summer, the hand fan from South Asia
Oh, the hand fan.
was
Yeah, yeah,
ordered
yeah.
from there
Okay, okay,
to, yeah, for
okay.
every guest.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was really unique.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
That was the wedding gift for the guests,
Yep,
all
yep.
of the
Sounds
guests.
good. Yeah, sounds very multicultural actually.
Yeah.
Obviously the hand fan came from all the way from village. Interesting thing is, multicultural wedding is not only across ethnicities. Within one country, there are multicultural weddings.
Yeah.
If we look at India, for instance, Punjabi and South Indian
Mhm.
wedding creates movies, or sort of that kind of
Yeah.
Punjabi versus Bengali wedding. They have one culture of one way of doing things. Other one has another way of doing things. Even in Bangladesh, if I look at the Dhakaya wedding and Noakhali wedding are completely
Mhm.
different,
Yeah.
and then Sylheti wedding and Chittagong wedding are completely different. And these are also multicultural weddings. I mean, it starts
Yes.
from home actually.
Yeah.
Now we have made progress. We're not only doing these in the home, but we're actually moving abroad. I remember during my wedding, who will pay the Qazi Shahib, which means who actually does the wedding, was a question. And there were two families saying, no, in our culture, the other party pays. The other family says, in our culture, the other party pays. So that's like a small, argument that everybody remembers. It was a pretty harmless argument, but eventually somebody paid. I don't know who, but and obviously there was this strange discussion going on. So multicultural weddings are awesome. I mean, you get to learn a lot about the culture, the other culture as well, and you
Mhm.
also get to present your own culture. We're gonna watch now the bridal, the wedding
Mhm.
slideshow. Thank you for the content
Sure.
again. I think the wedding was absolutely grand. I mean, it was not the
Yeah.
big fat Greek wedding, but it was really very
Big
slim.
fat Atlanta wedding. It sounds
No,
like,
no, no, no.
yeah,
I didn't find it big fat actually, because I think I found it classy and very.
yeah.
I wouldn't say cheesy. I think classy is the word. Classy
Classy.
and
Very classy.
very soothy, very sweet Atlanta wedding. I think I'm
Hmm.
going to call it Atlanta wedding. And uh, I think, to my surprise, when I saw the slideshow, it didn't look like a multicultural wedding. It looked like a wedding, just a wedding.
Yeah.
Everybody, the togetherness in the faces of Nisa and Brad, the bride and the groom, that defined matrimony,
The whole thing.
and that also defined wedding decor. How ideas blend, how sweetly ideas blend. And what I learned when actually I was looking through the slideshow is that weddings are best decored when two lovers marry each other, and there is no wedding planner can actually do that. It's actually set in heaven, and that wedding becomes such lovely decorated wedding actually.
Mhm.
So let's watch the slideshow, and then we'll come back and hear from you again. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to watch Nisa's Brad's bridal slideshow. So, be with us, and thank you for being with us. Hello and welcome back to Sahrah episode 6. We are with Naima Parvin talking about Nisa and Brad's bridal that she attended and witnessed and was really a big part of during last summer in Atlanta. We welcome back Naima Parvin. Hello. How
Hello.
did that feel? From the bridal
Yeah,
slideshow.
it's really, really magical.
Yeah.
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Actually, frankly speaking, I have been in this country, in UK, for a long, almost 19 years. I
Mm-hmm.
have been many of the wedding, but I never seen this
Something
classy.
so, yeah,
Yeah.
classy. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that
And
actually,
grandeur.
I agree. I mean, I agree. When I saw the slideshow, it was so classy. I mean, it was so. Uh, I think the decor was absolutely world class. The
Yeah.
designing of the tables, the details, the also the a touch of the cultural class was world class. So if I wanna, if you we can talk about it all day, but the thing is, if I want you to pick three things that you will always remember from this particular wedding, what would be those three things? And I'm not talking about how you felt, I'm talking about how you observed something you've seen that you will never forget from this wedding day. The three things.
Um, First of all, the decor, the wedding venue, to every arrangement from table to the where the
Mhm.
actual they exchange their vow. That part, everything was really grandeur and very classy,
Mhm.
um, and most importantly, uh, every thing, every flowers, all these are natural,
Yeah.
so it's not plastic, it's not
Yeah.
artificial.
Fresh flowers, all
Everything,
fresh flowers. Yeah.
all fresh flowers, all fresh plants and
Mm,
everything, because that was bride's mom's one of the main choice, that
of course.
because bride and groom, both of them are vegan, and they're very eco-friendly. They don't want anything
Ah,
plastic
there
or
you go.
artificial. So that's what, in the very beginning I told you that, um, everything happened, the arrangement, the choice
Yeah.
was actually the bride and groom's choice.
Yeah.
So they give the parent, both side of the parents, particularly this wedding party was arranged by the bride side, and that is the traditional way, the South
Is that
Asian,
your
that
number?
they
Yeah.
arrange it.
Yeah.
So
Is that your number two? The number one was the decor and the arrangement. And what was number two for you? The
um,
well,
and their attire,
attire.
the
Okay, yeah, there you
both
go.
of their
Yeah.
actually the whole procession of the grooms, they wear the traditional South Asian attire.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Bridesmaids and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
men, and they wear the actually wear the South Asian traditional, but
The
it
bright
is
side.
a
Yeah.
fusion. Yeah,
Yeah. Fusion.
yeah.
Yeah. The
So,
bright side was fusion.
so
Okay. Yeah. I
bright
get.
side,
Yeah.
most of the gentlemen, they wear the suit, and
Yeah. Yeah. We get it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's
Absolutely. It
the,
shows. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's this attire. It looks very. We can understand that these
This
two
is a
families,
multicultural. Yeah.
they want to blend.
Yeah.
Um,
But, I mean, attire, uh, getting each other's attire means that we are actually embracing each other's culture. So
yeah.
that's what's represented. Okay, number three. Coming to number three.
Number three, the very unique thing, the whole the food arrangement. I will talk about the drinks later. The whole food, everything was vegan.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for bride and grooms, because they are vegan,
Yep.
every food from starter to
Yep.
dessert, everything was
Vegan.
vegan, and it all of the foods are really mouth-watering, and I
Oh, very
couldn't,
nice. Okay,
because
yeah,
I'm not vegan.
yeah, yeah,
I'm not even vegetarian. I'm a
yeah, yeah.
very non-veg person.
Yeah. No,
So
I'm actually thinking that, if I went somewhere in a wedding and I was announced that every food is vegan, I would look for the nearest McDonald's actually, to sneak out and anyway. But you're saying the food was good. Anyway, that's good. Yeah.
yeah, that really surprised me, and it's it seems that we went to the wedding for Nisa and Brad, and we want to give them the respect that is
Of course, yeah,
their.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's well said. Yeah, that's also
Yes.
act. That's also embracing their culture to
Yeah,
attend their
yeah.
wedding, which is wonderful. Okay, we are just about to finish the show. Actually, we're just
Mhm.
at the end time here. One last question before we leave. I know you wanted to talk about the drinks, but we can pick it up later at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one last question that I have. You have children who have been brought up abroad, and possibly they have a mixed culture as well, and they probably have one culture slightly overpowering the other in terms of their livelihood, which is quite natural, of course. You
Mhm.
have children who are probably British, more British than uh, Asian. They're probably Asian British, or they're probably almost British now. So looking ahead, and I know personally that your children is just about to enter the marriage age very soon. So looking ahead,
No, I don't think so.
okay. Um, so looking ahead, if your children engages in a multicultural marriage, and you are the uh, you are actually trying to arrange their wedding, very quickly, what three things would you prioritize in your thought process and in arranging this? Of course, our imaginations can go absolutely anywhere, but obviously, when you're doing multicultural and there's another party involved, what are the three key things that you would think in sort of arranging these weddings?
Um, uh, Definitely, our children, those who are growing up and here, born and brought up here, you can see my decor in my home. The Christmas tree
Right.
is here, also the rickshaw is there. So
Yeah.
already very multicultural
Multicultural.
things
Yeah.
they are seeing in their home. So
Yeah, let's
that,
say the other party's culture is unknown at the moment, and it's going to
mhm,
be a
of course,
multicultural.
yeah.
It could be Chinese, it could be
Mhm.
Australian, it could be European, it could be anywhere, Indian,
Yeah, yeah.
Pakistan,
So
so African.
mainly giving the respect to the other culture, each
Mhm.
other's culture. That is the main thing.
That's the first
Um,
thing. Yeah,
that is the
obviously.
first thing. If you can give them a respect, then everything will put into the place. Actually,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, and obviously. Again, in that case, my son and his fiance, or who is going
Would
to be,
be right. Yeah.
would be bride, their choice,
Yeah.
their opinion will be the most important
Yeah.
thing.
Something
Again,
you learned from Atlanta is that opinion
yeah.
matters. Yeah.
And of course, the matching the not only just we in your children's wedding, you want to do everything right. You want to do give them the best thing, but figuring out that how you are going to manage the expense, that is also
Yeah.
important
Yep. That's right. I think.
for
I think
any wedding.
I think figuring out how you want to manage the expectations is also one of the key
Yes,
things, because
yes.
you can give the biggest, grandest wedding to your child, and then you are leaving your child with a high benchmark to arrange anniversaries later on. I mean, their their spouses would be asking, "What are you doing for me in this anniversary? You took me to top of Eiffel Tower for wedding, and where do I go? Top of Burj Khalifa or
Yeah.
something like that." So um,
Yes, of course.
anyway, thank you very much. I think that this discussion was wonderful. And I believe that when you plan the wedding of your children, you will also talk to their father, because when you
Yes, of
actually
course.
yes, exactly, I hope so. Because actually, I think wedding is best planned when two people do it who has been a couple for a long
Yes,
time.
yes. The parents. I said parents. I
Yes,
didn't
yes.
say I will do it.
Yeah, no, of course, no. I understand. Yeah, no, I mean that. I think the theme and the philosophy that we learn here. Obviously, Nisa and Brad's wedding came out so good because there were another couple planning it for them, and definitely their parents actually coming in together to plan for them. Uh, although we heard Nisa's mom, we didn't hear much about Nisa's dad. What
Yeah,
Nisa's
you
dad
can
did
see
actually.
the lovely dance with
Yeah, 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 yeah.
daughter
I
and
think it's more.
father
Yeah,
dance. That
yeah.
was one of the cutest
Correct.
part of the
Yeah,
wedding.
but it's also true that it's the dads who make things happen by managing the expenses and the budget. So that's also a
Yes.
key part
Mm.
of the bridal decor. Thank you so much. It's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you for joining our show. And we're gonna say goodbye to you and goodbye to our audience. If there is anything no last minute, and I'm actually giving you max last minute to tell to our lovely audience of Sahrah about your experience with Sahrah today.
I just want to say thank you to the Epsilon TV audience, and Sarah is doing excellent. I can see that rebranding is fab. It's absolutely attractive. What is festive season? You just enjoy and be safe. That's what I am to say. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much, Nema, and it was pleasure having you here. And Merry Christmas to you as well. Okay, viewers and lovers of Sarah and Epsilon TV, thank you so much for being with us in our episode 6. We're going to finish with Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We'll see you soon. Please be with us next Saturday. We are coming back with another theme and another episode of Sarah. The show goes on and goes on handsomely. Thank you so much for being with us. Stay well and Merry Christmas.